Today we're going to start a series in seeing how artificial intelligence or AI can be used for cooking. And when you use ChatGPT, some of the common things people do is to say, I have these ingredients, give me a recipe, and various other things. So there's definitely a lot of potential there for cooking or doing recipes. What I thought I wanted to do first is see how good these AIs and these large language models are actually with taste. And to do a little experiment, I thought about something that's not directly cooking, but it has to do with taste. And it has to do with the taste of mineral water. And I'm personally a fan of mineral water. There's a lot of mineral waters around, and I do know what my favorite mineral water is. Now, if I ask the internet what's the best mineral water in the world, we'll see in a second here what that will return. And then what I want to do, also ask ChatGPT what ChatGPT thinks is the best mineral water in the world. So I have my two favorite ones here. One is Topo Chico. This is a mineral water that's sold in the United States. The company is actually owned by Coca-Cola now, I believe. The water is from Monterrey, which is a mountain town in Mexico, not too far from Texas, where I live. So I do like this mineral water. My favorite mineral water, though, is this one here. This is Gerolsteiner water from Germany, and this is from the region in Germany where I'm from and where I lived. So I might be a little bit biased. This is my favorite water in the world. Why? Because it has a very high carbonation and it also has a very high mineral content. Now, that is my personal preference. What I would be curious, though, is to see what the internet thinks is the best mineral water in the world, because it is certainly a matter of taste rather than a matter of simply opinion. And so let's give this a try, and I'm going to start with asking Google and doing a Google search and seeing what Google thinks is the best mineral water in the world. And then we're going to have a look at ChatGPT, and then we're going to compare those two, and we'll see what we end up with. Okay, here we are with Google. So let's just ask Google, what is the best mineral water in the world? And see what comes back. So we see the usual commercials here. We these two have Gerolsteiner here. We have a local brand here from Central Market. And then what you get is the typical reviews. So we had a few in here. You see Topo Chico shows up here. Which mineral water is the healthiest? So you see all kinds of things here. And we can see 25 popular bottled water brands ranked worst to best. So let's see what this one says here. Goes all the way from bottled waters. Let's see if we get any mineral waters actually in here. And of course, mineral water doesn't have to be carbonated, so we may have to do more a search and say what is the best sparkling water in the world. So these here seem to be all just standard bottled waters. We did get one here, Acqua Panna, which is a mineral water from Italy. And we got Norwegian water and so forth. So let's be a little bit more precise here, and let's say what's the best sparkling mineral water in the world. And here they come, and again they say Spindrift. Now Spindrift is a water that actually has flavors. And then you say which is better, some Pellegrino or Perrier. And they talk about mineral content. So I think what we can conclude from here, and you see both of the ones that I showed you are here. We got Gerolsteiner, we got Topo Chico. But this is not really what I'm looking for. We see here there's some Pellegrino in here, also a common brand. So I would have to do a lot of work. We see Perrier, another very well-known one. But what is this really telling me about which one of those are good and which ones are best? So let's leave this at, so here we are, we have ChatGPT, it's GPT 3.5, let's ask the same question. What is the best sparkling mineral water in the world? So here we got the answer now, and I think this is a good indication of how these large language models and AI can be really good for getting a good description that summarizes things of or questions of taste. So on first glance, we see some of the well-known mineral waters in here, and you see the two that I showed you are on the list. You got Topo Chico, and we also have Gerolsteiner on here. And we also have the other well-known brands like Perrier and some Pellegrino and Voss from Norway. And what is important is the introductory sentence here. And it says determining the best on quote is subjective, which it is. But then it goes into you know, what brands are available, and then it goes a lot more into doing a very good summary about what these mineral waters are actually about. So it says Perrier, for example, is one of the well-known, probably one of the best known mineral waters in the world, and it has natural carbonation. It just said that. Pellegrino, similar as well, it says fine bubbles, so relatively low carbonation. Personally, I'm not a big fan of those two, precisely because their carbonation, in my taste, is not big enough. Voss, personally, I haven't had. It says it has a stylish cylindrical glass bottle, which is probably a big selling point for some people because it has a pretty bottle. And then we got one Italian one that I haven't heard about. Now let's look at Gerolsteiner, one of my favorite ones. It says originating from Germany, is known for its high mineral content, absolutely true, and is a favorite among those who prefer a more pronounced mineral taste. That is correct. What it does not mention in this view here is, which I think could be even better, that it would mention it has a very high level of carbonation. And with Topo Chico, it does mention the sharp carbonation and the refreshing flavor. And that is definitely something that a lot of people, including myself, like about Topo Chico, the strong carbonation. It's very refreshing. So I think as a first test from using AI for taste, this looks promising. So rather than going through many Google articles and links, I think this provides a pretty good initial approach if I wanted to learn about what mineral waters are like. Now let's see if we can refine this. What mineral water is best for me if I like a high mineral content and strong carbonation. Let's see. And again, it's like we just said, my top two come out in the top two, so this goes along with my taste. Now, what does this tell me about applying AI to cooking? I think I want to do some more tests when it comes to ingredients and taste. And if this works out well, I think this can really help us picking ingredients, picking the right brands. So I think a promising start. If you like, leave some comments below. What is your favorite mineral water for once? Do you like Gerolsteiner, which is my favorite? And also what you think about using AI for taste-related things or finding cooking ingredients or anything else that's related to culinary adventures. So that's it for today. We'll be back soon with some more AI examples and cooking.